Welcome to African Women in the Diaspora. And you know that on this podcast, we go into how to live meaningful lives, how to build successful lives and businesses while navigating identity, ambition, and purpose away from home. As always, I'm Ngozi Jason, your host. And today I'm joined by Gaelle Mokoy. Gail is such an accomplished person and she does it so quietly, and she wears so many hats. She's a coach, she's into project management, she's a speaker, she's also a magazine publisher. So she wears a lot. So it's okay, she brought it here. So we're going to ask you some questions as well about the magazine. So she wears so many hats, but what Gail does chiefly is that she helps business owners move from scattered ideas and good intentions. And that really resonates with me, to move them from good intentions into structured, intentional growth by focusing on clarity, positioning, building strong foundations before chasing visibility. So important, because from my own experience, if you're a new entrepreneur, people talk so much about visibility, so much, and then nobody remembers to tell you that there are other things you need to build before you start talking about visibility. So I'm really interested in that, Gail. All right, so Gail, tell us about you. Who is Gail? Apart from what I just said now, who is Gail?
First of all, Ngozi, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for the introduction. I am appreciative and humbled. So, hello, I'm Gaelle Mokoy. I'm a project manager within the NHS. I'm a marketing and branding coach. I've been in project management for over 10 years now. I'm a marketing and branding coach. Again, I started, I'm going to say before the pandemic, late 2019 or so, and I've carried it through. And over the last year, I've been working and developing on this magazine called Elikia. Um, you are right that I am a woman who wears many, many hats. In the past, I have worked as a hairdresser. I'm a qualified makeup artist. One thing about me is I am not afraid to reinvent myself. I'm not afraid to try something, and if it doesn't work, that's fine. At least I put my heart and soul into it, and it didn't work out, and I can move on to the next thing. I would rather live like that than live with regrets. As a, I am the child of an immigrant, so I came here in 2000 at the age of 12 years old, and I've grown up in the UK, and the UK, London first and Manchester second. But I'm a Mancunian at heart. I love Manchester to the core, and yeah, I've basically grown up in the UK. Yeah, that's me.
Cool. Beautiful. I love that. I love that. Before, because the main question I want to ask you is about this visibility thing. But
Yeah.
before then, what was it like, coming into the UK? Because I have children. I have two children. My first child he's 14. He'll be 15 this year. I think he was 10 when we came to this country. Then my
Mhm.
daughter was 8.
Yeah.
Sometimes I try to imagine, because I know that my experience is different from their own experience. So I try to imagine what it's like, to come here at that age and grow up in this kind of environment, different from what you were born into.
So the first thing for me, a lot of people don't believe this when I say this, but when I came to England, I couldn't speak a single word of English. So
Yeah,
when
because your country is a francophone country, Cameroon.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
exactly. So
Hmm.
when I tell people, they do not believe me because they're like, "You speak English so well." Yes, I had to learn. I had to learn, but that was the first thing for me, the language barrier. I couldn't speak a single
Mm,
word of English, so it was a struggle to make friends.
mm,
Um, so there was that. I felt very isolated. It was just myself, although I have siblings, they were a lot younger than me. I was in high school, they were in primary school, like there
mm,
was this big age gap.
mm. Okay, so you're the
Um
first child.
yes, I'm the
Okay.
firstborn daughter. Yes.
Hmm.
So that was the first thing. And I think as well, in terms of education, although I'm very, academic, I love school, I love learning, but it was still a struggle to learn. It was a struggle to fit in my own way. And of course, I think, as you say, your experience is different to that of your children.
Hmm.
Trying to speak to my mother about that when I was younger, and I know that she meant no harm, but it was like, you should be grateful to be here. This is an opportunity.
Mm,
Okay, we are good here. Suck it up. Do what
Pull
you
up
do
your
what you
big
gotta
girl
do.
pants and suck it up.
Exactly. So big girl pants, deal with it.
Mhm.
I have other things to deal with as well. So
Mm,
do what you've got to do. So that's where sort of my love of books
mm,
started. For I think that's perhaps why I'm so attached to them. But the first books that I read in English were the Harry Potter books, and
mm,
I've loved the series. Those books literally taught me English. So yes, my love of books became very passionate about reading and writing English. Like I actually do appreciate and love the English language. So that was the main things, and then the culture here, even as a child, is very different. It was a big culture shock, very big culture shock. Like, what do you mean you behave this way? Why are you behaving this
mm,
way? No, that's not how a child behaves. Like that was
mm, mm.
different as well. And growing up, it was very much again the culture thing. Like as I started to grow up into my own personality, it was very apparent and very clear that my mom said to me, she's like, outside you're in England, in my house you're still in Congo. No matter
Exactly.
what, in my house we still behave. So there was that. And growing up multicultural. So
Mm,
in Congo, my parents are generation one. Anyone who's of Congolese descent, born in the UK is generation two. I'm
okay.
generation 1.2. So I'm sort of in between. It still is at my big age at 37 a weird space to be because I still don't fully feel British.
Mm,
I still don't fully feel Congolese, even though
mm,
I scream it at the top of my lungs that I am Congolese.
mm.
It's a weird space to be. It's beautiful because I get to experience both. I get to
Yeah.
learn it and know about both. I appreciate the UK beyond measure,
Mm.
but I know that I am Congolese. Yes.
And have you traveled back to the Congo since then?
So last time I went back was in 2019. I think for about 5 years prior to 2019, I was going back every year.
Seriously.
Oh yes, every year I was going back. First, when I first came here, I was scared to go back because I didn't know what to expect.
Mm,
And then when I started going back, it was like, why did I wait so long to start visiting? I was going back every single year to the point that in 2019 I was making plans to move back fully, to figure it out, to get a job out there because we have relatives, we have a home, we have like I will figure it out.
mm,
But of course my parents said now is not the right time.
mm.
It's not that they didn't trust me out there, it's that they didn't want me out there without them.
Without them.
Yes,
Mm,
without them. I have a certain level of naivety, as in a sense that I just think that because that's the type of person I am, it's what you see is what you get.
mm,
If
mm,
I have it, I have it. If I don't have it, I
mhm,
don't have it. I don't have any qualms or afterthought, whereas
mhm.
a lot of people are not like that. And
Yes.
I would have been eaten by wolves, basically. And they were
African
absolutely right.
wolves.
Yes, exactly. And they were absolutely right. And like we were having conversations, and now would be the right time for me to go back because my parents no longer live in the UK. COVID,
Mm,
oh yeah, COVID came and they're like, bye,
yeah, yeah,
we're going home.
yeah.
And they've lived in Congo ever since.
Mm,
They're very happy. They come to visit.
mm,
My brother graduated, finished uni, the last born finished
mm.
uni in January. They came, we
Yeah, I think
celebrated
I
with
saw you
them.
made a post about that. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we celebrated him. Like we're so proud. We're so
Mm.
proud. And yeah, they basically said, we've done our job. You're all grown up. Yeah.
I love hearing such stories. I love
Yes.
hearing such stories. I was in a taxi yesterday, and the taxi driver is from Ethiopia, and he was
Nice.
telling me he just came back the day before. He spent 1 month in Ethiopia, and he's still trying to program his mind to like, okay, I'm back here in the UK,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
was hard for him. And he
Yeah.
told me he has two kids. He said once his kids they both are in university, he's going back to Ethiopia.
Mm,
He's going back, and I get it. My husband says that too. That once the kids get into university, he's going back to Nigeria. So I'm really happy for your parents. That your youngest one has is done with the university, and they're back in the Congo. That's an immigrant. Well, I think normally African immigrants. I don't know about other immigrants, but African immigrants, I noticed that that's generally their dream to
yes.
see their children, be at their best, and then go back to the
Exactly.
motherland.
Yeah.
That's really wonderful. That's wonderful. All right, so now straight to business. So talking about visibility, let me read that thing again. You said you help business owners move from scattered ideas and good intentions into um structured intentional growth by focusing on clarity,
Hmm.
positioning, and building strong foundations before chasing visibility. That caught my attention because I've not always been an entrepreneur. I've always been a 9 to 5 person. I was
Hmm.
working back in Nigeria. I was working in the oil and gas industry. I was doing well. I was happy. I was well paid. But there was a point, long story, that story for another day. But at some point, I just felt this is not, yes, everything's going on well. I'm happy, but this is not really what I want to do. So in 2020, when we were all at home doing nothing, thankfully, I was getting paid even though I wasn't going to work. So I had enough time to think about my life and what I wanted to do. And everybody kept on talking about visibility, visibility. And at that time, my life was still like a blur.
Hmm.
I had an idea, a very good idea of what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't have clients. I didn't know, I just didn't know what I really wanted to do. It wasn't clear.
Hmm.
So I started going after visibility.
Hmm.
Go live on social media, write a book, do this, do that. And I was doing all those things. I just began to understand myself in the last couple of years. I think maybe last year.
Hmm.
That's when I began to understand myself. And I realized that a lot of money I spent in the last 4, 5, 6 years was wasted money. That money would have been better spent now on those same things, but I would have been able to understand things better now. So tell us about that.
So I one thing that I want to say about visibility is from my understanding, because of course another coach, another business person may have a different point of view based on their experience and their understanding. Visibility should be part of the bigger picture. Visibility should not be the end goal. If visibility is the end goal, your strategy and everything that happens in the back end is not well put together.
Hmm.
So you want and you need to be visible in order to showcase what's already there. You don't want to be visible first and then scramble to put what's already there.
Exactly.
What's in the background in place, because the more visibility you get, the more you realize that what's behind the scenes need to be tight. Your
It's true.
systems need to be in place. Your programs and books and activities need to be, on point. You can't just be chasing, I want people to see me. Okay, great. Now that people are seeing you, now what?
What next? Exactly.
What's
That's where
next?
I found myself.
Yeah, exactly. What's next? So, what is it that you have to offer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, prior to making sure that you have that visibility. So, for example, I was speaking to one of my clients last week who said that she wants to rebrand her business. I said, I don't think you should rebrand your business, but rather you should say that what you're doing now is an extension. Your business is growing. You don't need to rebrand because the
Yeah.
branding is actually quite good.
Mm.
But she was like, okay, so I'm going to start posting this, and this. Okay, visibility, great. But what will be the end goal of that visibility?
Mm.
Posting for posting's sake does not help, does not
Yeah.
support anything.
Yeah.
Being in the right rooms for the sake of being in the right rooms will not help you, because people will start asking you questions that you
Mm-hmm.
cannot
You have
answer.
no answer. Exactly.
Yes, and
Exactly.
that's really, you will be like, oh, you'll scramble, because I've been there. You will scramble, and then you'll go home feeling stupid. And
Mm-hmm.
you know what? That's, yes, it's a bad thing at a time, but
Mm-hmm.
and I understand what you mean, that it was wasted money. But I have come up with a philosophy now that nothing I have done is wasted. Everything that I have done is a lesson.
True.
It has
True.
taught me,
True.
which is why now, like, the way I'm going into business, it cannot fail, because
Mm.
I've done things wrong way too many times,
Mm-hmm.
and I now have the lessons.
Mm.
I know that this time around, I don't need to do this. I won't
Mm-hmm.
need to do that. I need to place it this way. I need to do this here. I need to do that there. Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. I wish we had more people talking like this to entrepreneurs, because every time, yeah, visibility is good, really. If people don't know you, then of course they can't know what you're doing. But like you said, it's the bigger picture. And so what do you have? What do you have to show to people once they know you?
Mhm.
So I didn't have anything. I was just, going there, getting interviews, doing this, doing that. But thank God for coming to the UK because when you come Being an immigrant helps you think differently.
Mm,
I was telling my sister called me, she lives in Canada. She called me a couple of days ago and we're just discussing. And I said, despite all the challenges, I'm grateful to God for coming here because I think differently. I'm
yeah,
stronger in my mind and in my spirit.
that's
I
good.
found that I was quite lazy when I lived in Nigeria. I was very lazy because everything was working out well for me. So I didn't have any need to, disturb
Yeah,
myself. But here, I have to really be disciplined and really be focused. And so one thing I'm not going well, I don't stress myself. I don't feel sorry for myself. I have
yeah,
to look for what is the way out.
yeah,
So that's one thing I've gained from living outside my home country. I've become so tough. I've become so tough, and I found that I'm learning faster because I
yeah.
feel that there's no time. There's no time. So I'm learning things much faster than when I was in Nigeria.
The UK is a different kind of hustle. It's a
Yeah,
different,
exactly.
and do you know what the thing is? So, as you've said before, I'm from a French speaking country, so I've got a lot of family in France, in Belgium,
Mm,
in Switzerland as well.
mm,
When they come here, they say it themselves, like the UK compared to other European countries, it's a lot faster.
mm,
It's a lot. We have a certain way of going, a certain way of doing things.
mm.
Yeah, so you have to develop a certain level of resilience to keep going
Yes,
here.
that's it.
You really do.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Beautiful. All right. So I wanted to ask you, why do you think so many entrepreneurs feel exhausted instead of being supported by their business?
Because being in business is a lot. It's a lot. It's challenging mentally, it's
Mm,
challenging physically. It pushes you
mm,
to do things you didn't expect to do. So, for example, like you said, you used to work a 9 to 5. I used to and still do work a 9 to 5. The 9 to 5 grind and hustle is different from the entrepreneurial hustle.
it is.
Like the 9 to 5 hustle, whether or not things go right, you still have your paycheck.
Hmm? Mm-hmm.
The entrepreneurial hustle, it needs to go right, otherwise you don't have a paycheck. So it's on you. You No one should motivate you. You need to have enough self motivation to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You will have dry seasons,
Mm,
seasons where no matter what you are doing, nothing is happening. No
mm,
one is buying, no one is doing anything. It's just not the season.
mm,
You will have also seasons where people are buying too much, and even that's a lot.
mm.
So, for example,
Yeah.
oh gosh, yes, last year was one of my best years I'm going to say between July and September.
Mm,
Each month I was hitting, even exceeding my goals.
mm.
In August, I served 50 clients by myself. That's a lot for me.
A
That was
lot.
a big deal.
That's a lot.
And even my friend came to me, she's like, how the hell did you do that? I'm like, only God knows. It was God put it out there for it to happen to me, and it happened.
Mm,
But with serving those 50 clients, my body in September, October was exhausted.
mm.
Like 'cause it stretched me in a way that I didn't know I could stretch.
And you were
So
still doing your 9 to 5 that same
yes, I
period.
was. I was still doing my 9 to 5. So September, October last year, even though I was still working, even though I was still running my business, I was extremely, extremely unwell. So it's one of those that I'm like, okay, so I am capable of doing that. My business is capable of doing that, but I need to update the systems and the way that I work in order to know that that capability is coming and can come at any time. I will be ready so that I do not get sick again.
Yeah.
So you need a different type of mindset. You need a different kind of people. You need a different type of conversations. You need a different type of understanding. Like, and I mean by understanding, I mean emotional intelligence. You
Mm,
need a certain level of emotional intelligence at work. You
mm,
also need a different one for your business, for
mm,
yourself first and foremost, and then for the people that you serve as well, the clients that you have. Yeah,
mm. Wow. You know what they say about be careful what you wish for.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
When you're wishing for
exactly.
so many clients, and then the next thing you have 50 people in 1 month. Oh
50.
my
Yeah,
God. That's a lot. That's a
yeah,
lot. So,
yeah.
so we, I can't, I've come to understand when entrepreneurs, when they increase their pricing, A lot of times they're not increasing their pricing because they want more money, but they're increasing their pricing to reduce the number of clients they're going to get,
Do
but
you know
yet
what?
make more
Yes,
money.
it does that. It does that. And the
Mm-hmm.
right people. So I have a friend who is on a year to year basis. When April comes, because that's when her financial year starts, she
Mm-hmm.
preempts people from the beginning of March. You know, if you're in her mailing list, she will let you know the prices will go up by such and such an amount by April.
Mm,
If you still want to work with her, great. You take the price increase, or you book prior to April so that you stay on the current price.
mm,
If you don't want to work with her and she's no longer within your price range, she's no longer within your price range. You know, it is what it is. It removes certain people, but at the same time, it still brings in new people as well. But
mm,
I
mm-hmm,
think
mm-hmm,
you will be at a certain point, a certain capacity where,
mm.
when you do
Be
that,
able to do
it
that.
will not
Yeah.
be that
Yeah.
overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, then what does success look like for you personally beyond money? Because you've talked about, how between June and August, or July and September, how you had so many, clients. That's success, but you
Yeah.
were stressed up.
Yes.
So beyond money, because I have also reached a certain stage in my life. I want ease in my life. I don't want stress. I'm 50 years old. I don't In fact, if I had my way, I'll just have money coming from my investments. I'll just be doing things like this that I enjoy, whether they bring
Yeah.
money or not. So
Yeah.
that's what success means to me. Success means ease. I don't want to chase after anybody. I don't want to work when I don't want to work. I like to take like 2 or 3 holidays in a year. Spend time with loved ones. So what does success mean to you beyond money?
Success literally means everything you've described. So I'm going to say that I have, at each point of in my life, I have experienced that the different kind of successes that you've spoken about. So spending time with family, that's very, very important to me. In 2019, last time I went to Congo, I was in a very good financial position. And rather than just going on holiday in Africa, for 2 weeks, no, I went for 2 months. To me, that was a big deal.
Yeah, it
At
is.
the time, that was a
It
big deal.
is.
I took
Yeah.
2 months. I'm not working. All my bills are paid. Everything is fine. I will come back to the UK. There's no problem.
Hmm.
2 whole months with my family in Congo. Loved it. Amazing. I enjoyed that. Like spending time with my extended family, cousins, nieces, nephews, uncles and aunties. All of that was amazing.
Hmm.
Success is also what I've described last year, having my three best months, July, August, and September. That's the definition of success, making sure that you serve your clients, serving them well, and making sure that you also have make an impact. The level and the amount of feedback that I got from my clients. And one of the things is that my coach shouts at me about is the fact that I don't post them enough. I need to start
Yeah,
posting the
exactly. I
feedback
said
that I
that to
get.
myself that this one
Yeah.
is doing so much, and I don't really see much of the things that you do.
I will start. I will start. I think it's this humility that I have. I need to stop being so humble and say, you know
Mm-hmm.
what, I do good work and I need to start sharing with people.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. Going on holiday as many times as I want per year. I think it was in 2023. Everyone was sick of me, from my mom to my sisters to my friends. I went on 7 holidays in one year. Seven. Because it's like, you know what?
To be like you when I grow up.
Exactly. I went on 7 holidays in one year because I was thinking, who's gonna stop me? No one. I'm making my money. I'm living well. I'm happy. I have no problems whatsoever. Let me catch that flight. Let me get on that plane. So I have experienced different types and different levels of success. But the one that I really, really I'm enjoying right now is peace. Everything is going well in life. Everything is homeostasis, everything equilibrium, balanced, because life can take you here and take you there, and it's
Mm,
rarely. So
mm-hmm.
I am enjoying that
Oh,
success.
beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful. And while I was reading your bio, you talked about systems that can
Hmm.
help entrepreneurs
Hmm.
So, what's can you name a couple of those systems that can help people to have that clarity and organize themselves before going after visibility?
So, in terms of going after visibility, people always think that it's just social media. Social media is great because social media, you can literally reach the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to understand as well that some people are not on social media.
Yeah.
Okay, some of the people that you want to be visible to, they read the newspaper, they
Yes.
watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, being on social media is great.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to, let's say, reach an investor, okay, the investor will not be watching Instagram, the investor will be you reading the independent.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get in the independent? It's that right level of visibility. What system will you put in place to get into that newspaper in
Mm.
front of that audience? There's also the systems in the back end. So, do you have email marketing systems? Do you have onboarding systems? Do you have systems for the programs and the services that you're offering? All of those are systems. They're literally, it's part of your consumer journey.
Mm.
When you get the consumer, they pay attention to you, they see you, what's next? Okay, they're
Mm.
aware of you, they have interest in you, they want to get in touch with you, and then they're at the bottom of the funnel. They're yours, they're your client. What systems have you got in place? And a
Mm.
lot of people, myself included, because I was there,
Mm.
a lot of people who go in business just think, oh, well, I'm just going to post it on social media
Social
once and that's
media.
it.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's a lot that needs to be put in place. Like if you're selling, so I have this candle, I love candles. I have this candle right here. Yes, absolutely, absolutely, you can put it on social media,
Mm-hmm.
no problem. But as a person who loves candle, what do I love to do? I love to smell them. Okay, so being in a store, being at an open market, being in places where your ideal client will be in front of you, smelling this will help the
Yeah.
connection with your brand, will help the
Mm.
connection with your business, and will
Mm.
make you sell.
Mm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Now let's talk about your magazine. Show it to us again. Yeah, Elikia. What's the meaning of Elikia?
So Elikia means a hope. It means hope in Lingala. That's my language in Congo.
Lingala.
Lingala, yes,
Okay.
correct. It means hope.
Mm.
Um, and I have worked with a magazine called Isimbi. It's also a Congolese, created by a Congolese woman. Isimbi means it works. Um, and it sort of has a similar premise, but Isimbi is based in France. So what I want to do with Elikia magazine is to showcase who we are as a diaspora, not just the African diaspora, but the Caribbean diaspora, because they have had a huge impact, on
Mm-hmm.
British culture, and so
Absolutely.
have
That's
we.
true. Yeah.
Yes, so have we as the African
Mm.
community. I want to showcase who we are,
Mm.
whether it's music, whether it's culture, whether it's, who are we as photographers? Who are we as, those that work in the corporate world,
Mm.
those that choose to run businesses? I want to share our stories.
Mm.
What is it that we do? Whether we do it differently, do we do it the same? Are there? So I have a friend who left his corporate career to become a photographer.
Mm.
I know another lady. She's no longer in the UK, but she left her career as a lawyer to become a singer.
Wow.
Exactly. So we all have these stories, and I know of, again, a friend of mine who left. So she lived in the UK for 12 years because she's French. She has a
Mm.
French passport. She went back to France for 6 years, and she decided to go back to Congo. And she said, although she has family in France and she visits France, she said she'll never come back.
Mm.
She's very happy there. She has a great career. She's in films, she's making movies. You know, all of those stories deserve to be told because
Mm.
I feel like, especially, right now, the way the world is going, we've realized that it's not just one career. You do not have to have that one path for the entirety of your life. You can switch up, you can change, you can reinvent yourself
Mm-hmm.
at any point. And this is what this is about. Yeah.
So how often do you publish the magazine?
So the magazine will have, this is the first physical copy that
Hmm.
came out in November
Okay.
of last year. There will be four physical editions per year. So the
Hmm.
next one is coming out next month. We're having a launch in Manchester. But it's going to be March, June, September, and then November. So
Okay.
there's going to be four every year.
Every year. Okay. So that's it's quarterly.
Yes,
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I hope I'll be able to make it for the launch in
I hope so
Manchester.
too. I hope
Oh,
so too.
Manchester isn't it's I think it's like a 2 hour drive
Okay.
from here. Or yeah, about 2 hours. Then by bus it's about maybe 3 hours, 3.5 hours. I don't always like to take the train because I don't know, the train stresses me.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Train stresses me. So I rather go by bus or drive. All right. So if someone feels lost in their business right now, what's the first step you'll tell them to take?
Go back to their why. Go back to
Mm,
why you started the business.
mm.
Okay, knowing why you're doing something will always give you direction. Um, my why of starting a business is the fact that when I was young, and it was innate in me, I always knew that I would be successful.
Wow,
It's
are you
just, oh yeah,
serious?
oh yes, I knew.
Hmm.
I did not know how. I didn't know how. I just knew like success is in me. I will be successful no matter what.
How did you get to be like that? It's what were parents always picking up, speaking words to you or something? How did that come about?
So yes, my parents they weren't always supportive of my decisions, but they were supportive of my drive. They were supportive of my intelligence.
Hmm.
They always were, and it's one of those like I always knew. So it's one of the I tell this story often, but so if you went to I'm gonna say if you went to high school or primary school in the UK
Mm-hmm,
between from 2003 onwards,
mm-hmm,
in 2004 2005 it became a law that schools are no longer allowed to sell sweets or chocolates or anything like that. So
mm,
you had to buy it outside of school.
mm-hmm,
So what I decided to do was the little rebel that I was, I will go to the shop every Sunday and I will pack up a bag. I will use all of my spending money of the week, pack up a bag of sweets, chocolates, drinks, crisps, you name it. And I will go to school on Monday and sell it all. Monday, Tuesday, by Wednesday I was done and I'd make money. Of course, I got in trouble. I stopped because because I got in trouble. I wasn't supposed to do that.
was that in
But
primary school or secondary school?
it was in secondary school.
Okay.
It was in secondary school. And again, being the terrible example that I was, as soon as I finished school, I told my sister to do the same thing. I told my sister to do the same thing. Like, yeah. So I always had that in me.
Hmm.
And like when I finished university, I had a conversation with my dad who said, you're struggling to find a job in your field because I studied marketing and marketing management and branding. You're struggling to find a job in your field. You're struggling to find a job. Become a nurse.
Hmm.
And I know and understand that, there was no bad faith in him. He just wanted me to find something.
Yeah.
And that conversation, I looked at him, I said, no. And he's like, but you will have a straight path. You will have a job straight away. You can do this. You can become head nurse and in a couple of years, da 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 da. And looked at him and I said, no. I know what you're saying is because you want to help me, but
Hmm.
and I remember those words exactly. I do not know what I'm going to do. I do not know how, but I will be successful.
Wow.
I've always known it, and that is my why. That is my drive of
Hmm.
always carrying on. And a lot of people will not say this, but I will say it loud and clear. I started and failed six businesses.
Hmm.
I have that resilience because I
Hmm.
know that no, I know that entrepreneurship is in me.
Hmm.
So I will start, fail into, and each time I fail, I learn something new about myself,
Hmm.
about how far I can go, and about how I can help people.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. So when an entrepreneur is feeling stressed up or feeling that they want to stop, the first question they should ask themselves is why. Why are you doing this? Because really, I don't think I'm a natural entrepreneur. I'm not,
Hmm.
but you know what people say? They'll say I didn't choose this, but it chose me. I didn't
Yeah.
choose entrepreneurs, but it chose me because it wasn't
Yeah.
something I ever in my life thought I was going to do. but
Yeah.
I found myself in it. And like you too, I've tried so many things,
Yeah.
wasted money, lost so much money, but you will learn from it and then you move on. And I'm the kind of person I don't like to regret. I've done it. I've made a
Mhm.
mistake. What's the way forward? I hate looking back
Yes.
because looking back makes me feel bad. So I don't like to look back. I like to, move forward. So you ask yourself why. And if your why makes sense, then
Hmm.
you have to look for a way to make things work for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, the last question. What would you tell that woman who's listening to us now? That's woman of immigrant descent. She could be African, she could be Caribbean, but she lives wherever she lives, UK, the US, Australia, Canada, wherever she lives, as long as she doesn't live in her home country. And she's facing challenges in her business, in her, personal life, in her career. What would you tell her?
I would tell her that that status as an immigrant is a superpower,
Hmm.
because you're literally standing at the intersection of culture.
Hmm.
Okay, because I hear here in the UK we say a lot that, or I hear people say a lot that basically the British don't have culture.
Hmm.
Okay, but they are, if you look at the country as is, they are a mixture, an amalgamation
Of
of
culture.
cultures that are
Yes.
brought together. So
Yes.
you are at the intersection of something wonderful, of
Hmm.
something beautiful.
Hmm.
Okay, and it can be a very lonely place, but
Hmm.
finding people that know you and understand you is the first step. And when you do, don't forget who you are. Don't forget why you sought out those people.
Hmm.
Don't forget how they can help you, but also how you can help them.
Help them.
And also don't forget that that's just a phase. Like sometimes people don't realize this, especially when you're in the thick of it.
Hmm.
Like it will come to pass. So I'm a Christian,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And
Mm-hmm.
of course, at this moment, I don't know if you're participating, but a lot of people are doing the Hallelujah Challenge with
Yeah,
Pastor
Nathaniel
Yohai
Bassey.
Bassey.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been a blessing to me for God knows how many years. And
Hmm.
this year, I think it was on Tuesday, he said, start praying for what you want. And at that very moment, in a very long time, I said to myself, I don't actually want anything. I want to sit in this moment with God.
Hmm.
And I was so happy and I was so pleased. And I got so emotional because I was like, I've been searching for this moment. Like I've been waiting for one day when I will just sit here and say, I don't want anything. God has given me everything. I'm
Hmm.
in a
Hmm.
great place.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes. So each and there were times in my life I'm like, this is never going to end. But it has ended. So being an immigrant is not a prison sentence.
Hmm.
It can feel very problematic. It can feel like, the worst issues in the world, especially with all the laws that's changing in the UK, etc. It's a superpower. You are at the intersection of something beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That's so touching. I love that. Oh, Gail,
Yes.
you're so inspiring.
Thank you so much.
So
Thank you.
inspiring.
Thank you.
The question I just asked you was supposed to be the last question, but let me ask you one more question.
Of course, of course.
So you said when you were talking to the immigrant woman, listening to us or watching us, and you said, what was it you said? Oh my God. You said, oh yeah, find the people, find your own people.
Hmm.
People always say that. People always
Hmm.
say find your own people, but how do you? Yes, they say go join, go volunteer somewhere, go join this, go join that. But can you can you tell us something that really works?
Do you know what? Unfortunately, I can't. Unfortunately, it sounds bad, but it is literally trial and error.
Hmm.
Going here, trying, going
Hmm.
there, trying, going here, trial and error. One
Hmm.
thing I would say, and like I said, I scream it at the top of my lungs, I am Congolese. No one can tell me nothing. I do not fit in the Congolese community in the UK.
Hmm.
I do not fit in whatsoever. Like for Congolese people, I'm too quiet, and I really am. For them, I'm too quiet. I'm too reserved. And whereas my people, we're very boisterous, we're very
Yeah.
loud. I'm
Yeah.
not like that.
Hmm.
So even though they know me, they know of me, they know who I am, I do not fit in that community. A
Hmm.
lot of my friends are from everywhere. My best friend is Pakistani.
Beautiful.
Yeah, oh yeah, my best friend is. We've been best friends since we were 12 years old. My
Hmm.
best friend is Pakistani. Another one of my closest friends, I can also say is my best friend, is Jamaican. a lot of my friends are Ghanaians, Nigerians, South Africans. Like I have a multitude of friends from everywhere. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it was all through trial and error.
Mm,
It was literally just getting to know these people, getting to know those people. Some of it clicked, others didn't. So,
mm.
being an immigrant, like I said, can be very, very, very lonely, but you do not want to be on your own. And of course, if your home country is the first place you need to try, then please try, but don't stay on your own. Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. But sometimes, and I'm saying this from the perspective of a Nigerian, a
Hmm.
lot of Nigerians tend to, they're usually, on two opposing ends. They either, you know, they either make friends only with fellow Nigerians, or they say, no, please, I don't want Nigerians. They're ally so much. I want to be friends with people from other nationalities. So, what would you advise, especially the people who want to just stay with their own kind? What would you tell that woman?
You're missing out on so much.
Mm,
You're missing out, and don't get me wrong, because culture is beautiful. My Congolese culture is beautiful. I love it, especially when we get together.
when you guys are dancing and
Oh,
winding your waist.
exactly. International Women's Month is coming, and on the 7th, even though
Mm,
my mom no longer lives in the UK, she was part of this congregation of women who they're having a celebration.
mhm,
Through my mom, I've been invited. I just know that I'm going to have the most excellent time around these women, laughing, dancing. I'm gonna have fun. I know it. So
mm,
my culture is beautiful. But
mm,
at the same time, I appreciate the Caribbean culture as well. They
mm,
are amazing. Okay, they are amazing, especially when their birthday parties. Oh my God, I love Nigerian culture. I spend a lot of time around my Nigerian friends. One
mm,
one of my Ghanaian friends, I didn't know that she was a queen until she explained to me the culture of how she was crowned, and it's beautiful. It's
mm,
amazing. I did not know that. In South Africa, Xhosa, one of their languages, was the first Bantu languages, and a lot of other African countries have picked up words that eventually developed their language. If I wasn't friends with someone from South Africa, I would have never learned that knowledge. So you are not betraying yourself. You are not
mm,
betraying your culture if you are expanding. If, of
mm,
course, you feel more comfortable with your own people, there's nothing wrong with that either.
mm,
But
mm.
learning about other people and other cultures, you will have so much fun as well.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah,
That's so, so true. Oh my God, Gail, I have so many other questions, but we just have to stop it here.
that's
We just
fine.
have to stop it here. I'm really, really, because like you said, I sensed in my spirit that you're the quiet type, you
Yeah,
know. So I've just been thinking, because usually before I have a podcast interview with somebody, I'm already envisioning what's going to be like. But with you, I couldn't see it because you always seem so quiet. I always be wondering, what's it going to be like? How's it going to be? But it's been so wonderful. You're
thank
so
you.
inspiring, so motivating. You've blessed me, and I know that you've blessed the woman who's listening to us right now or watching us. You've so blessed me. Thank you so much for coming here. And I hope that if we happen to call you again, you'll come again and talk
Of
to us,
course.
because there's so much to talk about. I have so many questions to ask you. You know, I don't want to take too much time. Thank you so much, Gil. God
Thank you
bless
for
you.
having me. I'm really appreciative. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you.
Fantastic. Have a wonderful day.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you.
there you have it, Gayle McCoy for you. And she's launching her magazine. What date is it? When exactly?
So the launch is in Manchester. Okay,
Mm-hmm,
it is on the 21st of March. Tickets are on sale on Eventbrite.
mm-hmm.
You get the standard ticket for £15, and the upgraded tickets where you get two magazines. So you get the first edition and the second edition, and that will be £25.
All right. So you're either paying £15 to attend. That's just for attendance. Then if you're paying £25, you're getting two of the magazines, two copies of the different
Yes,
editions, and
yes,
attendance at the
yeah,
at the launch. And it's happening in Manchester. So you can get the tickets at Eventbrite. I'm
yes,
going
that's right.
to when we publish this episode, please send me details on how they
Of
can
course,
the link.
yes,
I'll
of
put it
course.
there in the link. And if someone wants to get in touch with you, please, how can they get in touch with you?
So you can find me on LinkedIn and Instagram as Gaelle Mokoy.
Okay,
Okay. It's literally the same picture, so you can't miss it. Yeah.
fantastic. Thank you so much, Gil. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've really enjoyed talking to you. I've had a fantastic time. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Thank you.
All right, so there you have it. Thank you so much for joining us today. And if you're watching the replay, just put in your comments, tell us what you've learned from Gail today, and we'll see you in the next episode.